And why doesn't it have 1 million views? Well, that's because of the YouTube algorithm, and the video idea, the title, the topic, and probably everything about this isn't good enough to get 1 million views. But that's not very helpful. So how does the YouTube algorithm work, and how can we use it to our advantage as creators to get more views and get to where we want with our channels? This video's information is based on a Google research paper from 2016, updated with my own experience from monetizing these 2 Minecraft channels, along with helping other clients get thousands of views by providing thumbnails and video editing. However, the YouTube algorithm is a so-called black box. This means that no one knows exactly how it works, and only the underlying principles are kind of public. So even a programmer at Google or YouTube couldn't just check the code and see how the YouTube algorithm is calculating which videos should get views and which one don't. So I just had to get that out of the way. So here's an educated guess on what we need to do to get views. Don't expect this video to be a get views quick scheme, because those really just don't exist. Step 1 to getting more views is figuring out what YouTube wants. They're a for-profit company that makes money by selling ads to advertisers by showing their ads to viewers on YouTube. Therefore, they want viewers to come back to YouTube as often as possible and stay on there for as long as possible. And they can only achieve this with one thing, which is viewer satisfaction. Think about the last time YouTube recommended you a really good video that you loved. After watching that video, you were probably pretty happy and maybe checked out the creator's channel, or you clicked on a video on the up next section. Basically, you stayed on YouTube because you liked that one video so much. So that's really the goal of YouTube, to recommend as many good videos to the viewer as possible to keep them on the platform. Now we know what YouTube wants and what they're optimizing for, but how does the algorithm actually work? Well, for a long time, they've just been looking at likes, and that was really their only metric they were looking at, until there were like bots and all of those different things, and they realized that liking a video doesn't really mean that you're gonna stay on the platform for longer. So instead they started optimizing for keeping viewers on the platform as long as possible, that people spend hours and hours and hours on end on the platform. And I don't know if you had this before, but I certainly did when I had TikTok installed. I was just opening the app for something, maybe I searched something up, I don't know, and then I started scrolling for, I don't know, 3 hours on end, and I didn't mean to spend that time on TikTok. So in the end, TikTok had their advertising time, which is great for them, but what isn't so great for them is that I then uninstalled the app because I never wanted to go back on it. So that's one thing that YouTube really needs to figure out. And by the way, this was discussed on the Creator Insider channel with the guy who is responsible for the YouTube algorithm, so there's quite a bit of credibility behind this. For us, this means that over-editing isn't always the best option. Instead, we should form a connection to our viewers, and we should always put the viewer first in the content. An example for that is that I had this whole video already scripted out line for line, in which I went over the paper that I mentioned earlier, but I realized that it was way too theoretical and there wasn't any actionable advice that people could implement, and so they wouldn't want to even watch that. I scrapped the whole video idea, and now I'm doing this, where I'm focusing on making this as comprehensible as possible and as actionable as possible. All of this, of course, only applies if your goal isn't just to have fun on YouTube, but to kind of succeed with your channel. If you're just here to have fun, then honestly, you don't need to watch this video. You can just create whatever you want, and you don't need to care about an audience, any of that. But since you're still here, I would just assume that you're not only doing this for fun. Before we go into exactly what we need to do to get views in chapter 4, let's first understand why some videos get views, flatline, get views, flatline, and so on. And maybe at some point they flatline completely. And let's also understand a few other scenarios where sometimes a video just doesn't get any views at all and you just don't know why. Alright, so let's say that this represents all content on YouTube. And there's basically 3 sections to this. There is very specific content, kind of niche content, and then there is broad content. For example, Mr. Beast's content is almost always in this broad niche so that as many people as possible can view it, but if you're making broad content, then you're also competing against a lot of people. If you're making specific videos, then it's easier to reach those few people who would like to watch that video. Let's also say that these things are different niches, and this is your niche. And for this example, let's just say you're in the indoor plants niche. Next to it we have gardening, and next to it on the other side we have home deco. Let's now say you upload a video called the top 10 indoor plants to make your home look nicer. Then that is kind of on the home decoration side because it's about making your home look nicer. So let's just say this video is around here, but it still has a very broad appeal to basically anyone who lives anywhere and likes plants. And let's also say that your usual videos are somewhere around here. This means that your core audience is most likely also going to be like right around the content that you've been creating. So you uploaded your video and people in your core audience will just put them as squares. They really like your video. But your viewers who are also into the home deco niche like it a lot more. So the video will be shown to more of those viewers of yours, and the circle kind of gets expanded a bit for this video. Those new people also really like the video, and then it gets expanded again. It'll get expanded and expanded and expanded until now it reaches the point where this guy who's in the home decor space and doesn't usually watch indoor plants videos, he doesn't like this video, or there are multiple people who don't like this video, so the algorithm will stop expanding the circle over here. That's when you first got views. Oh, that sound. And then it flatlines. Maybe the algorithm then figures out though that someone over in the gardening space kind of liked it. So there's a view, then that guy is also a view, it kind of gets expanded, the bubble, there's a few views, but then some people don't like it anymore and it stops getting expanded. So that's why oftentimes you have a curve looking like this. And obviously we're assuming that your video is good, like if it isn't good then it's not gonna get views at all. But another reason for why it wouldn't get views even if the video is good is, for example, if you post outside of a niche. So let's just say that this is now your core audience because this video performed really well and those guys also watched some of your other stuff. If you now post a video down here about indoor plants that also survive in the garden that need to be cut during the winter, that would be a very specific video. And those guys most likely don't care about this, so this specific video just wouldn't get views at all. Now here's how you can ruin your channel completely. Let's again say your core audience is over here because you upload a lot of videos in this category. Let's now say you upload a very broad gardening video, which is gonna be, I don't know, how to cut your grass correctly. And because it's so broad, many of your viewers in the indoor plants niche will also like this video. So you're getting views from all over here, from here, from here, and it all starts like smaller recommendation circles that all expand and expand. And then it realizes, oh, people in the gardening space really like this video. So the circle gets expanded over here and over here. And really what ends up happening is you're getting an absolutely viral video, but in the gardening space. This is what can mess up your channel completely. And I'm talking from experience because it happened to my old channel. In a niche different than yours, your video now goes viral. What do you think happens when you next upload a video about indoor plants? If you upload a video over here, it's gonna get even less views than your usual videos would. Because now your target audience is completely messed up. So you really need to figure out what content you want to upload on your channel, otherwise this could happen to you. And we learned earlier that the algorithm really just wants to make viewers happy. So how does it do that? Well, it has three major metrics to look at. Or well, it depends on how you count it. You have average watch duration and session, meaning when someone clicks on your video, how long do they watch the video for? And session means how many other of your videos does this viewer watch afterwards. 2, the algorithm has click-through rate, meaning how many people who are shown your video actually click on your video. And the third metric consists of a lot of things, which is basically how engaged the viewer was. So this includes comments, likes, shares, saves, subscribes, anything else. I think those 5 are the major ones. So what we need to do as creators is try to figure out how we make our videos as appealing as possible to our audience. This means improving the idea, title, and thumbnail. And then we need to figure out how to make people watch as much of our content as possible. We do this by improving our scripting, intros, editing, recording, all of these things. And engagement is honestly just a byproduct of doing these things. My best performing video on any of my channels is always the one with the most likes and comments per view, because they were helpful or sparked some kind of emotion when watching. This video on my 5K Minecraft channel, for example, is honestly the best guide to increase your game's performance, so because of that it's got insane engagement. Basically what I'm trying to say is, if you're not getting views, it's a skill issue. YouTube's algorithm can make mistakes sometimes, but 99% of the time it's the creator's fault. And yes, I am saying that with my channel not even being at 400 subscribers. This is also still a completely new style of content for me, so I also need to improve something every single video. Just improve something is not actionable advice though, so how do we do that? Right, step 1, go to your latest video and see how many people are shown your video, impressions, and how many people actually click on your videos, views. I don't want to give out percentages like an 8% CTR is good or whatever, because that percentage really doesn't exist. But if you just feel like it's too little people clicking on the video for the amount of impressions that you got, you need to work on the title, idea, and thumbnail. You do that by looking up tutorials, guides, and getting inspired by other YouTubers. I recently saw this thumbnail, so you can be sure I'll put my own spin on that in the future and recreate it. And if your click-through rate is good enough, then look at your watch time and comment rate and see if those things are also good. If you think it's too low, you can improve your intros, your scripting, your editing, your recording, maybe your filming setup, which I should also do. And for this is also the same thing. Watch guides, watch other YouTubers, and then look up tutorials on how to do the things that they did. For example, in this video you might have seen some good transition that now you you can look up and implement into a video of your own. Or, of course, you can join our Discord server that'll be in the description below and you can ask for feedback there. But there is a trick that can get you 100 times the results you're currently getting. It's really no secret, but it's fully committing to YouTube. If that's something you want to do, watch the video on the end screen right here, where I show you how I freed up time to fully invest into my YouTube channel. Good luck in your channel, subscribe if you wanna, and see ya.